you. So I looked at something online. It said some traditions around the world, they look at sex as being a gateway, which ultimately that understanding comes from the Most High. You know what I'm saying? That's why sex is a sacred act. The word sacred means something that's sanctified or something that's holy. You know what I'm saying? It's not meant for single people. It's not meant for children. It's not meant, that's why people look down on molesters and pedophiles and people like that, because it's something sacred. When you turn it into something that's of the flesh, it becomes demonic. You see what I'm saying? You got to be weary and mindful of those things. That's why we got to protect our daughters in these families where, the cousins and the uncles and things like that don't really have it all together. And, we have to pray that our daughters have protection as well as the sons. Sometimes things happens to the sons too that is not brought to the light until it's too late. You know what I'm saying? So we have to protect the little ones. We have to protect each other from this stuff. We have to talk to each other, say, hey, bro, you know what I'm saying? That girl you was talking to on your phone, that's not your wife, or that's not your sister or nothing like that. So why were you talking to her for so long? Be your brother's keeper. Hey, bro, go home to your wife, boy. You had enough to drink, bro. You know what I'm saying? Go home to your wife. Because that sexual act is spiritual, and you don't want it to interfere with your mental, with your mind, with your spirit. Keep everything pure. Stay in the light. Everything that's in the light don't have to be hid. That's because it's pure and it's understood that it's the truth. You know what I'm saying? You stay in the light, you don't have nothing to fear. You know what I'm saying? That's where all of that confusion comes from with relationships, when people don't trust each other, because everything isn't in the light. Bring everything into the light. Me and my wife, we trust each other wholeheartedly. There's things we had to work through, you know what I'm saying, to get to the point where we're at, where we trust each other 100%, because how can I put it? You just have to go through some things to understand that, how you view your relationship before. It could have been, a routine where you just go to work, come home, and you deal with each other, but you don't really see the blessing that you have before you, which is, it's not about making money together. It's about actually being one flesh and knowing each other and having each other's back, and knowing that, you have somebody that's loyal, you have somebody that's trustworthy, and you have somebody that's like-minded. Being like-minded just basically means you're one flesh. Like, you move and you walk and you talk the same way. When you talk the same language, when you have the same body movement, you know what I'm saying? It's like poetry in motion. You feel what I'm saying? So look at this. It says it's a gateway. Some spiritual traditions view sex as a way to achieve higher states of awareness, where the ego dissolves and a person can experience a deep, sacred union with another, or a sense of oneness with the universe. It's so spiritual. We're talking about sex, and this thing just described the universe. You know what I'm saying? This thing is for real. Let's look at Exodus 20 and 14, how you can really mess something like that up. So some of you understand, in the book of Exodus chapter 20, there's the 10 commandments. Why do people say they believe in the 10 commandments, but yet they, this is the one that trips a lot of people up, is adultery. Exodus 20 and 14 is very simple, short scripture. It say, thou shalt not commit adultery. Hey, don't go into that other woman's house. You got a woman at home. God bless you with her. You know what I'm saying? When you commit adultery, you become confused. You don't know if you love the woman that you with at that time, or you love the one that's at home. It's a song out there that throws a lot of people off, and you got to be mindful of the music that you listen to and intake, because that has spirits too. It's a song that say, if you can't love the one, if you can't love the one you want, or something like that, love the one you with. It was a hit song. Love the one you with. No, that's not true, because when you away from your spouse, your husband, or your wife, and you at work, and you might have a connection with somebody at work of the opposite sex, right? The song say love the love the one you want. Well, you can't be with the one you want. Love the one you with. That's false. You know what I'm saying? Love your wife. Love your husband. That's what it's about. You see what I'm saying? Love the one you married. That's what it's about. You know what I'm saying? We in a time of confusion. The world is out of order because we don't understand the basics of relationships. And it's all in the Bible, man. The blueprint is in the Bible. It's never wrong. You know what I'm saying? We just got away from it because we think that we're smarter than God for some reason. Whoever, came up with that idea that the old way doesn't work, you know what I'm saying? They just pretty much gave up because it didn't work for them, but it works for everybody else. You get what I'm saying? And I'm not saying the old ways for everything works. I'm just saying marriage is a foundational building block of a community. You know what I'm saying? You put a woman and a man together, they make children. Those children go off and marry other children when they become adults, and then that makes a village. And then those children marry, then that makes a community. Those children marry, that makes, a nation. You see what I'm saying? And that's just the building block. It just takes a man and a woman to become married, not a baby daddy or a baby mama. That's not the goal. That's not how you build a community. You know what I'm saying? So let's look at this. It's all spiritual. Hebrews 13:4. We all know what that says. Marriage is honorable in all. It doesn't say boyfriend and girlfriend honorable, because when you have sex as boyfriend and girlfriend, you still confused. You don't know if the last girl you just talked to last week and took her out, if she's the one. The girlfriend don't know if the guy's the one because maybe he didn't pay her bill, or maybe he didn't put it down the way she wanted to, and now she confused because she's confused about the sexual acts. You know what I'm saying? And when you're married, you get a chance to explore different ways to be intimate. You know what I'm saying? You don't have that freedom when you're boyfriend and girlfriend, because you always want to be careful, right? But when you're married, you have that freedom to be more intimate with each other, spiritually, emotionally, physically, all of that, mentally, all of that. So, you know what I'm saying? It says the bed undefiled. You know what I'm saying? And it says the bed undefiled because when you do it any other way outside of marriage, it's saying it's defiled. And you become confused. God is not the author of confusion. When you have sexual intercourse with your husband or your wife, it's a portal, it's a gateway. You see what I'm saying? To righteousness, to heaven. You see what I'm saying? That's why you need to let go of the porn and all that other stuff. That is a gateway to confusion, and it messes you up. And you have to put that down. You got to let it go. You got to let it go. You know what I'm saying? And some people, they get addicted to it, and it's hard for them to come out of that spirit, and they don't know why, because that is a strong demon. You know what I'm saying? It's a strong demon. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, somebody researched it for me, but I think the porn industry is the #1 money-making industry in the world, which shows you, this is a wicked place that we're in, dealing with the world. And it has to be brought down. That's why brothers and sisters like me are out here trying to bring about change, trying to save the morality that's still left in the world, trying to uplift the kingdom and the spirit of Christ the way we should. And this is a spiritual war, and y'all got to be equipped for the battle. Everything, every corner you turn, there's trouble waiting, and you got to have your armor of righteousness on. You got to keep your sword with you so that you can, defeat whatever spirits is out there. You got to stay sharp. You know what I'm saying? But look at this. Let me just sidetrack for a minute, just to show y'all how deep this sexual connection goes when it comes to the Most High. There are songs like Sexual Healing by Marvin Gaye. You get what I'm saying? Now, our parents didn't really, teach us about what Marvin Gaye was actually saying. It's not just about sex. You don't just sleep around with every person that you meet. Sexual healing is just what it is. It's spiritual. Listen to what he said.